Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Another edition here of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Mikey V, top left, Joey D coming in hot as well. I'm just going to go out in front of this one. We are in one of the most ridiculous Airbnbs I have ever seen in my life. Stubby dropped the ball here, Bat.
I mean, look at me. I'm in a warehouse.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like you're in like an open air brewery.
Mikey, it's a nightclub.
Yeah. It's a nightclub.
Yeah. It's
you
like
see the disco ball behind me?
Show the folks that are watching on YouTube at home, show them what they got here.
I mean, honestly, it looks pretty cool.
Mikey,
from that angle, it looks pretty cool.
I'm in a loft. It's like I'm Anne Frank. Like it's huddled off to the side. It's like a bunker up in here, man. It's a nightmare.
It doesn't. From the angle Joe showed, it doesn't look terrible. It just looks like a weird place to stay for sure.
You walked in, there's not a front door. It looks like you got to do cover charge.
I tell you what,
you walk into your Airbnb.
Sometimes with the Airbnbs, I worried Perez. Like the one he had us booked in Alabama, I was very we never ended up going, but I was very concerned about that Airbnb.
Yeah,
very concerned. Very concerned about it.
It gets a little wacky with them sometimes.
It looks like if you look like where we're at, it looks like the scene, from Big Daddy. Like it's like this.
Yes. You know
what I mean? It looks. It's totally. Meanwhile, we went here to go to the Barstow Chicago office. They're out there in a fucking fun house over there with every single studio you get. That place is
sick.
Very surreal for me. Really was being there.
Really?
I mean, Mike, I know you had. Well, Mike, you've been in the New York one, or the Chicago one.
The Chicago one, but not the new Chicago. I was there right before the new one opened.
The new one's insane, man.
Yeah, that's what.
It's a fun house. It's crazy.
It really is. The amount of money that they put into this thing, it's like it's your dream. I couldn't imagine, anybody that works there. I'm A-okay doing what we're doing, but I couldn't imagine. You know how no matter like what job people work, no matter how much money they make, there's always something, people are never happy, whether it be, money, whatever it is. I can't imagine somebody over there not being happy. And I'm sure there are people there that aren't happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody, no matter what, everybody has a complaint eventually about something.
Yes.
You could put, I say that all the time at work. Like you could give guys like everything and they still will find something to complain about. So,
you know what, Mikey?
Grass isn't always greener.
No, that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
I say it about work all the time. You just no matter. I've really learned, no matter what you do, it's really eye-opening to be that, no matter what people make, they get used to the environment or the money that they're making.
Yep.
Yes. And then comes a complaint, you know what I mean? But hey, here we are today. Ain't that right, Joey D?
I mean, yeah, warehouse and all, man. We're just complaining a second ago.
Well, yeah, we were.
Yeah, you guys were.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually really tough.
That's really tough. Yeah. Boy, that is pretty weak.
That just brings it all together.
Joe, do you have one of those Einstein bagels?
Yeah. It was not great.
We got that in Arizona too when we were out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think
it's the first breakfast. I haven't had breakfast in almost a week. It's the first item I had for breakfast because I've been not eating until like past
intermittent fasting. Good for you.
And I was like, you know what? I'll just have a bagel today, and I'm not going to eat much for lunch. It was a terrible decision. When you like do something, you're like, oh, maybe I'll just do it, and then you're like, that was such a mistake. It was not worth having that bagel this morning. It was not good at all. I was expecting to be like really good and satisfying. Did not get what
Are we ready to begin the official Swole Cuts
program? Already started. But I'm saying I got to get myself prepped and ready to go, but I have already started.
Good.
So what I've been doing is aside from today, as I just said, it's full transparency, by the way. I am going to be completely transparent. If I fuck up, if I don't follow the regime, if I don't do my part, I'm going to put the hand up and say, hey, it's on me. But I've been really good up until I think I've been pretty good this week. I haven't been eating any breakfast, having lunch, small lunches, and then dinner, and trying not to eat past 8. Now we're out for this weekend, so I don't know how that's gonna go. I've also been working out every day. Bob and we played pickleball yesterday. I was sweating profusely, and I'm actually down 6 pounds
I told
since I
you
started.
the first week that weight's gonna fly
I
off.
know, I'm
I mean,
drinking
it's a
so
good
much
thing.
water. I'm drinking so much water that it's gonna fluctuate. It's not gonna
It's good,
really
though.
even tell you where you're at. Like, I think there's part of you see, oh my goodness, I'm down 6 pounds. That's not a true 6 pounds. Like,
Hmm.
I gotta go. You know what I'm saying, Mikey? I could put that back on in a day.
I mean, listen, yeah, but you're not, if you keep it up, you're not going to put it back on. You'll keep it off for as long as you go. It's just the losing of weight is going to get more difficult after the first 2 weeks.
The weight just fluctuates. I mean, you know what's crazy with that Pereira guy? He was 205 when he weighed in,
this
and the next
UFC
day he was
is nuts, bro.
230.
Yeah,
That
How do you
is
gain 25 pounds in a day?
It's
Yeah,
wild.
I wonder what I would love. They got to go. There's got to be something out there, but they got to go in depth on like these UFC cuts. Like you see some of these, like it looks like some of these people are going to die when they need to drop like 10
Yeah.
pounds, and they do it. There's
They should do a
something
documentary on it. It's fascinating.
they showed. It might have been Pennington or somebody who went up to the scale and she couldn't even stand on the scale. She was so out of it. It really is the way they do that. But I agree with Joe. I don't know how you lose
Well, how do you
that the
gain
way you do
25 pounds in a day?
that's what I meant to say. Yeah, I don't understand how you gain 25 pounds.
I don't know. If I could have gained 25 pounds, it would have been on Friday when I ate that ice cream sundae in the kitchen sink.
That
From Disney.
thing
It was devastating. It was devastating. I ate it
Was it
fast
good?
too, man. Yeah, it was delicious.
You know what,
It was
Mikey?
great.
You
So
in that
good.
video, you look like you're at the tail end of the trip. Like it's like
Yeah, no, that was the crowning. That was the
Yeah.
crowning achievement of that trip.
Right. It's
I
like
gotta
you
be
gotta
honest,
get home.
the whole week in Disney, I have to be honest, my eating was really like I did not mess around at all, really. Like I didn't have dessert any nights. Like I think I had dessert one other night and it was at a dinner and it was like a piece of carrot cake, like small. That was the only other dessert I had was the last night. But the
Well, you
last
drank
night was
around the
kind of
world.
like, yeah, around the world got to me, dog.
That's
Around the world got me.
that is fun though. That's a
It
blast.
is. It was a lot of fun. It was just me and Holly because my parents came down. They were there for like 3 days, but they had left already. So it was just me, Holly, and the kids. And the kids at that point were kind of just shot. So they started napping in the stroller. So it's just me and Holly walking around, just having a drink at every place, sharing, cocktails at
Wow.
every different country. It was nice. Then at the end of it, I said, I got to go to the ice cream place. I was like, I haven't had ice cream the whole
That
vacation.
ice cream. That had
And
to
it
be
was
30, 40 bucks.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
Oh.
I don't even know what it was. It was certainly, I'm sure it was
When you get the
overpriced.
collector's
The
bowl
sink.
with the Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
they just now did you do the whole thing, Mikey, with the buying the ears and the memorabilia? Because I feel like that's where they rope you in and they just charge you an
Well, I
absolute.
mean, obviously they have a gift store at every ride. They have a gift store at every turn you
Oh,
look
they
at.
do.
There's a store. So the kids, I mean, the kids were good though. They wanted like they're still little, so like they want like Gabrielle only wanted like stuffed animals. So like we got her a couple stuffed animals. Dominic wanted some serious toys, man. He wanted
What
like
does he want?
he got like the monorail, Disney monorail, not like the
Oh
track set, just the
my.
monorail itself. But he
Oh,
got
okay.
me
I
on that.
thought
He got a Toy Story toy from the Toy Story ride at the end. The bad robot Zurg. He got one of those. He roped me in for.
that's cool.
I mean, listen.
When you said
Disney's one of those
monorail,
things.
Mikey, I
Yeah, I
envisioned
know.
like the Bobby Buckawala,
No.
like the entire
Yeah.
set.
No, not the whole set, just the monorail train itself. But I mean, here's a cardinal rule at Disney. I would say is just swipe and then just don't look until you get home.
Oh,
If you look while you're there, you're gonna just give yourself anxiety. Just keep swiping, and then when you go home, you already know what you're in for. When you go, you know what you're in for. Don't even look because you'll ruin your whole trip. Don't even look.
Vacation spending, you really start to just
It's like
lose sight of
Monopoly
it.
money.
Yeah.
It's like Monopoly money. You become, and the worst thing at Disney is everything is on like this. It looks like a little Apple Watch. It's called a Magic Band, and they have your credit card linked to it. All you got to do is just tap your wrist, and it's
so
done.
dangerous.
They're so smart, man. They're
Mickey
so
has
smart.
found out a way just to
Oh.
take as much money from you as
Yeah.
possible.
You got a
he'll
problem?
get
Is it
you.
if Dom asks for something, is it hard for you to say no to the kids, Mikey?
Not really at this point. When he has a meltdown, he had like one meltdown like the first day we were there. He went nuts for this toy. He was
About
like,
what?
There's the Zurg toy from Toy Story. He
So
fucking
you,
he
got
went
it.
ballistic.
You got it.
So I was like, listen, no, you gotta be a little strategic. You gotta, play chess while they're playing checkers. You gotta be like General Patton. You have to have a plan of attack. So the plan was like,
Mikey,
listen,
he's
I know you,
5 years old.
he's gonna, by the way, he's gonna be 6 next week. He's 6, so he's 6.
Oh, little
6.
Dom.
But they know what at that age, like they know what they're doing, man. So so I flipped it and I was like, listen, you want that toy? Yes, I want the toy. Okay, you got to do X, Y, Z, and then I promise we'll get it for you by the end of the trip. And like a couple days in, you see it at like every other Toy Story store or whatever. So we finally got it for him. But you got to leverage that stuff into
What was his
favor.
deliverables?
His deliverables where he had to stop throwing a fucking temper tantrum in the middle of Disney. He was going nuts. He's flailing.
Crying.
Yeah, they put on the waterworks. These kids, man, I'm telling you, they're experts. They're
The
expert
power of
manipulators.
tears. The power of tears.
If
Is something
Gabriella
that-
starts crying, it's game over. Dom, I could kind of handle it. When Gab starts, it's game over.
Do you get embarrassment? Is there secondhand embarrassment for the parents and stuff watching you?
Bob, let me tell you something.
No, I'm serious. I'm really
let me
asking.
No, I know you are. I'm going to tell you this. Just walk around Disney World for like an hour. You'll never be embarrassed about anything you do ever again for the rest of your life. When you see some of these other people walking around, some of the creatures, some of the Disney creatures walking around this
they
place,
look like they belong in an animated movie.
Well, I mean, there are some sights to be seen in Disney World, dog. And I mean, I seen kids at Disney go shitstorm ballistic. So no, there's really no embarrassment at all. Really, there's
It's
not.
like you're just another person, just like it's almost like they
Like it's not
understand
like
at that point.
it's not like he's in the store like ripping shit off the shelves, damaging stuff like that. I would lose my mind. But no, he's having like his own mini meltdown
Right.
because he wants what he wants when he wants it. And those are tough life lessons. You got to learn.
It'd be
Diego
worse.
Pavia wanted to beat Alabama. You got to go do it. You got to go do it sometimes. Everybody wants to do great things, but they want what they want, but it takes time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt the Brilliantly Dumb Show to let you know that it's brought to you by the fine folks over at Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one, all on your terms. Whether it's us that sell different clothes, Breezy, Have a Day hats, whatever it is, start your business, do it the right way with the fine folks over at Squarespace. You cannot go wrong. An all-in-one space for you to start your business. And starting right now, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, www.squarespace.com/dumb to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You cannot go wrong. Download Squarespace today and start your business and get it on the right track. Do you know what we got robbed of when you talk about all-time creatures? That I've never looked so forward to going to a place and just taking it all in. Us getting robbed of Daytona.
Talladega.
Talladega.
Talladega,
If we ended up getting to that Talladega, just from even with the merch shop, like when we walked into the merch shop,
yeah.
I mean that alone would just seeing some of the people that we were seeing there.
Here's the thing about this Disney World, right? I'm not against people like that go there. A lot of people that go there that don't have kids, I think, catch a lot of heat. I think like Disney adults or whatever, like people who just go there without kids, I think they catch a lot of heat, and I think it's unwarranted because the place is really, there's good restaurants. You could find them, really good places. You got to spend the money, but there's really good places to eat. Epcot, I don't care how old you are, is phenomenal. It's just awesome. These rides that they built, this Guardians of the Galaxy ride, like these rides are the Star Wars Rise of the
they're crazy.
Resistance. They're like hundreds
That
of
ride, the
millions of
Star
dollars.
Wars one it's like you get out, you're in the Death Star. It's
Joe,
unbelievable.
It's insane. It's insane. Here's where I draw the line. The line has to be drawn somewhere with Disney adults. When you're over the age of 30 and you're waiting in line to meet a Disney character, like we had to wait in line to meet, like Gabriella wanted to meet all the princesses. They wanted to meet Mickey. They wanted to meet Donald. You have to wait in line for a lot of that stuff. But when there's adults that don't have kids waiting to take a picture with a fake
Oh
character, I
my.
draw the line there. Like
There's a
like
hilarious
really,
thing I saw on Instagram. It was like this Minnie Mouse and the heads off, and it's like this 50-year-old Latino guy, and he's just on his cell phone
yeah,
texting.
they're
And
not
it's like
supposed to do that. Yeah, they're not supposed to do that. They get
and it's
caught, they
like
get fired for that. You
it's
can't
like
do that.
the identity of Minnie has been revealed. It's like a
Yeah.
50-year-old
Yeah, it's
Latino
bad.
guy,
Yeah.
and people are waiting to meet this person.
I mean, like you got adults, you got
Oh,
adults that waited in line in front of kids that are waiting to go see. The kids actually think that these are the real thing. Like they think they're meeting
Oh,
like the real Rapunzel and shit like that. And then you have an adult taking a selfie with them that waited in line in front of you. And it's just like, that's a line that I draw. Like that to me is the line. Now, if the adults just are walking through the park and they happen by happenstance run into one of the characters, they take a quick picture, I don't have an issue. But when you're going out of your way to like wait in line to do it, that to me is very bizarre. The
I
people
get,
that trade pins, like that's like
do you
another
know,
big thing, like pin trading, bizarre. I draw the line there. So there's a couple things I say like that can't happen if you're an adult
I've been
going there.
told that Disney's almost like a cult.
It's very
Like
cultish. It's very cultish.
it's a cult, man. Have you heard of that the special restaurant that you have
Yeah, the one
what is it called?
club whatever. It's in Magic Kingdom above the
There's people who wait
yeah,
years to get access to get admitted
exclusive.
into it, and it's like $100,000
It's a lot,
to get
yeah,
entry.
yeah, yeah.
It is. I'm telling
that's
you, you
weird.
want to talk cults? It's
So,
cults.
so to go to dinner, you got to walk into Magic Kingdom.
Oh, you got to go into Disney. They have the thing right
Club
in there.
33.
That
Yeah,
is
and
absolutely
apparently like
bizarre.
Tom Hanks is a member, like all these high-end
You have to
people.
apply. You have to apply
Yeah.
to become a member. They got to approve it, and then it's a restaurant that's like sits above a spot in Magic Kingdom, and it's like
yeah.
it's so exclusive that like it's
Bob,
yeah,
it's one of the most exclusive things you can be a part of.
yeah.
In
I could see
society.
Cutsy being a Club 33
Never.
member at
No,
some
no,
point.
absolutely
I could see
not.
it. I could
No,
see
that's ridiculous.
somebody
Just for the,
DMing
just for the,
I'm not interested.
Oh,
just
yeah.
for the exclusivity.
I'm not
factor.
interested.
I've
No,
been
you know
member
what
of
I would
Club
do?
33,
You know what I
no
would
big
do?
deal,
If
you
you're a
know.
member there, you get exclusive merchandise and stuff that no one else gets, and you can sell it like on the black market for tons of
Yeah.
money.
Joe will be a
Yeah,
member of Club 33 within 5 years.
I would join a golf club membership before going to Disney.
Could you imagine having to go into Magic Kingdom to go after?
Oh.
That's weird. Let me tell you something, man. I've never really thought about that side of Disney World.
Bob, if you got invited to a dinner at Club 33, you got to go.
Yeah.
Because it's probably
that's
somebody
right.
of
Yeah,
some
that's right, Bob.
importance who's
That's right.
having a business meeting with
You
you. And
do.
Bob, you cannot turn that down.
Joe, I'd have no desire. None.
You have to go, Bob.
No. Do you remember, Joe, you remember when we went to that one dinner in Disney?
What was that restaurant? What was the restaurant called? It was a steakhouse. At Perez, like, this is my living nightmare. We had to walk through Disney World to get there.
Yeah, he was pissed.
What was the place? It was called the steakhouse.
Whoever
Oh, my
booked,
God.
they booked like a steakhouse, Mikey. They booked the restaurant, they booked the steakhouse. Just so happened the steakhouse was in the middle of Disney World or
In Florida or California?
In Florida. No, it was Florida.
It was Florida.
Disney World.
It was Orlando, and yeah, we had to walk in all the way into that.
STK Steakhouse.
Yeah, he was
In Disney World?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And Perez was wildly hungover,
Yeah.
and he was walking through, and he's just
Oh.
like, someone just ended.
He
for me
I
was-
right
don't know
now."
where there's an STK in Disney World in Florida.
There is.
Oh, it's in there. It's deep in the
the
cut.
the big steakhouse in Disney World's actually in Cutsy's place. It's in Canada. That's like the biggest steakhouse there.
It's in Disney Springs.
Oh, Disney Springs. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not technically a park. Yeah.
It's like
It's
outside of the.
It's
like,
outside,
You
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to be
Yep.
in the actual Disney World.
That's
but
more
it's-
like targeted for adults, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
You
Disney
know what?
Springs.
You know what makes me cringe? Like hearing that with Disney World, with the people standing waiting for Mickey like that are the adults. If you don't have the kids, that makes me cringe. Also, nowadays, if I see an adult lined up with a bunch of kids for autographs at a game, that
Yeah.
to me kind of makes me cringe too.
Oh, that they're not their kids, like they're lining up to get their autograph.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you'll see sometimes like a player's going by and he's giving the autograph, and then like it's kid, and then there's like an
Right.
adult, and it's just kind of like
it's weird. It's weird.
A little weird.
Yeah.
Well, what some of the adults do is they get kids now to go get the autographs for them.
Well, that's another thing. Like, is the adult getting it to get like a card that's like a really like, because card trading is so big. Like, are they getting like this card sign that's now going to be worth a lot of money?
I really appreciate when I was with caddying for Josh Allen, you see all these people asking for autographs. He'll sign every jersey and stuff, but like trading cards, he refuses to sign because it's not people trying to get his autograph just to have his autograph. They're trying to resell and market the merchandise. And he's just trying, every kid he says yes to, but you see some of these people, he'll be like, no, I'm not signing cards, unfortunately. And then they're just ruthless. They're like,
well, a lot of the
Holmes
players
is better than you anyways. And like,
You've seen them say, they said that?
oh yeah. He's like, thanks, man. I appreciate the feedback. Like it's so gracious. And some of these people are just absolute fucking losers.
I'm going to tell you, a lot of the players won't sign a jersey like just their name. They want to know who they're like, what's your name? They make it out to them so they can't sell it as just an order. That's like a thing that they do. I mean, you shouldn't really have a problem with that unless you're looking to just resell merch. I mean, then that's a different story. But yeah, no, overall, great trip. Good. I got to sell, but
he hasn't looked at that credit card statement yet.
I was going to say, what would you say? Let's go back to that credit card. Joey D, what would you put the over under and how much?
I told you, Bob, your parlay. Your parlay winnings.
I think he's over. So we're saying
I think
85.
Over too.
It's expensive. It's expensive.
You're staying at the Disney resort. My God, we talked about it last week,
dude.
It goes a long way.
When I saw Mikey's story of him when they asked him to work with like the lion guy, God. I was dying laughing because I was like, "Yo, we gotta get this guy the fuck out of Disneyland."
Kid's got a big kick out of it.
Yeah, I bet. I
gotta be honest, bro. It was the greatest thing ever to see my kids in that environment. It was, bro. They bought into everything, bro. It was incredible.
That safari thing you did looked really cool too, with the giraffes and everything. Like,
the safari for that. The safari was sick. But like when they met the characters, like their faces, like it's just you can't put a price. You can't put a price on that. You can't. Like you're never gonna they're gonna get older and you're never gonna see that again. So it was. Those memories, the pictures and stuff are definitely worth it. But yeah, it's fucking it's ridiculously expensive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know you want to pay close attention to your body and maintain your body to be as healthy as possible. That's why when you see me on the Brilliantly Dumb Show, if you see me drinking that green drink, it's from the fine folks over at AG1. I've been taking it every single morning and it never steers me wrong. If there's one product I trust to support my whole body health, it's AG1, and that's why I've partnered with them for so long. Starting your journey with AG1 is a win. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/dumb. That's drinkag1.com/dumb. Check it out today and take control of your health today. Do you worry about death, Mikey?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You think
especially
about
being a tall man, again, you don't see a lot of old tall guys.
Oh, no, you don't.
You don't.
Whoa,
even Joe agrees.
I never thought about
Bill Russell
that.
was one of the oldest I've seen. And
Bill Russell has top quality care. I mean, he's a multi-millionaire.
Well, Mikey,
I know he died of a ripe old age, though. He lived. I'd sign on for whatever Russell.
I think it was like 80 something.
Yeah, I'd sign up for that.
I'd sign up for
life. High 80s, Bob. Yeah. Every day of the week.
I think you're going to live a long, healthy life. But do you worry about what happens after?
After?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thought enters my mind every once in a while, and I try to quickly just remove it. Because if you really think about the finality of life, and like if you're one of those people who aren't very religious, and I'm not here to talk about religion or anything like that, but let's say that you just have your skepticism about the afterlife. I mean, that's a very finite and dark thought to think about, because one day it just shuts all off. Would you even know? Are you even going to be conscious of it? I mean, the conversations could get very, very deep and crazy. Spirituality, religiousness, I mean, it's just, could get very crazy, I think, very quickly. And it's a
Bob
very
is Bob
weird
is very
convo.
fascinated with death. There's not many days that go by where he doesn't ask a question about death lately. And I mean, you're the ripe age of 32.
Well,
You
I'm
got
gonna
plenty
go.
of good years left.
I'm gonna go early.
You think
I'm
so?
Oh, Bob,
telling you.
Why? You're in good health.
Well, Mikey, when I saw you do that impression of me walking to like a buffet, that's
mean,
where
that's
it kind of hit me. Where I was like, I'm gonna go, dude. The way you impersonated me really opened my eyes.
That's what opened your eyes to death.
Kind
Me
of.
impersonating you.
Do you know what though? I
What about when I sing your praises about how you run every day when you're away on these trips still, and you try to keep in decent shape? Like, what about that?
I had 2 bagels this morning, you know. But I feel like I got a lot to give. Like I really do. I feel like I got a lot to give.
Yeah.
You should
and
start
that
a foundation.
like what? Like
The
I mean,
people.
Bob, you feel like you have something to give. You should start a foundation. And you know what? The thing about a foundation, Bob, is it continues after you die. So it'll be your legacy. It'll be
It could
something
be
that
your
you give to
it
the
could be
world.
your stamp on philanthropy.
And people will look back and be like, who was the Robbie Burger who started the Burger Foundation? You know?
Right.
yeah. All right, maybe. Yeah, I just think I got a lot more to give. I fear it. I worry about it. Because also, too, if you give me a second life, what are you gonna give me that's gonna top what we got going?
Not as good as what you got right now, let me tell
that's
you.
what I'm saying. Watch
He's
this.
he's gonna get reincarnated as a pot maker in Peru or something like that.
pot maker.
He's just gonna be molding clay pots somewhere in a fucking
the
arid
Andes.
temperature desert. Yeah.
In the
Actually,
Andes.
Joe, knowing Bob, he'll get reincarnated as like a king of like some kingdom.
King of
medieval
Bangladesh.
times.
Bangladesh.
Yes, a royal
Yeah.
serf of
Yeah.
some type.
Yeah. Some royal legion.
Hey,
Guy will have like 20,000 people working for him.
yeah. By the way, Joe, I think I hear Jet is awake, Mikey. This guy went on. He lost bet.
There they are. There's those beautiful sons of bitches.
Just give me the finger. He just gave me the finger. That fuck.
Joe, turn around and ask Jet what he went yesterday. Like 0 for what? 1 for.
Jet, there's a question about what your record yesterday was.
Yeah, from Bob, not from me.
Don't talk about total, but like of how many plays you went. How many did you lose?
Probably like 3 and 8.
3 and 8.
That's a good day for him. Yeah,
Bob says that's a great day for you.
He's
his narrative is bullshit and he should just shut the fuck up.
Whoa!
I think we all heard that.
Because you know what bothers about his betting is that he doesn't ride. He doesn't like. He won't. He can't.
But he's talking shit about you right now. He says you're not a rider.
Yeah, that's true though. I admit that.
He does admit it, which I appreciate.
He's putting a hand up.
But
let me tell you, gambling is fickle. It's fickle.
Yeah, it's listen, it's your money. You can lose it the way you want. Boy, does he.
He sure did. But you know what, too? What bothers me is like he thinks he's got the system figured out, and that's what annoys me. Like
he has the play down to a T. He'll look at the original line.
Yeah.
He'll see the game script is not nearly where it needs to be. So he thinks automatically whatever team was favored by, say, 2 touchdowns, he'll live bet that team because he thinks they're going to come back. But like the Missouri game, for example, there's times where that just doesn't happen.
Missouri's a fraud. Missouri, if what Missouri did,
I understand, but like that was his theory, so he was taking them again and again and again.
Yeah, no, you can't. They're
or
terrible.
Alabama is another one that okay,
guy's a dog, dude. I don't know how many times I got. Maybe now everybody
Mikey,
now
you're making it out like you're Moses delivering the message to the people.
No,
like,
I'm not, Joe.
I
but
understand that
no.
Good.
Maybe
you said he was going to be a Heisman candidate.
Maybe I never said he was going to be a Heisman candidate.
I
never said that. I never
he
said.
Could be
Find me that footage.
Candidate.
Find me that footage. By the way,
I'm
maybe
sure
now, maybe a long shot. Now.
He's not even close.
Okay.
But hey, I'll give kudos for
long shot.
He played a great game. The whole team played great. If you look at the defense played tremendous.
This guy, man, all he does is win. That's what this kid does, and he elevates people. He's playing for historically the worst program in the SEC, and they just beat the #1 team in the country. And by the way, They should have beat the 7th ranked team in the country 2 weeks ago on the road if their field goal
Mikey.
kicker doesn't miss a 33-yard field goal.
I love you so dearly, Michael. But the
Yeah, but
reason
you do,
love
but you
him,
can never admit when you were just wrong about it. You can
the
never just
reason
say.
you love this guy is because you picked him a few times last year with the Rebels.
Sure
He
did.
he won you some money, and then you reached out and he
The
showed you
Aggies, not the Rebels. The
New
Aggies.
Mexico State, whatever the team is.
Right.
When they won, you reached out to him and he showed you some love. Whenever an athlete shows Michael love, they're
Oh, here we
automatically
go.
propelled to
Yeah.
another level. And I'm not saying I'm agreeing with what you're saying. He played
Joe,
tremendous.
Joe,
But
you'll
he could be
defend
little
guys
Johnny
like
2 times in a
You'll
freaking-
defend guys like Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel to the
'Cause
ends of the earth because you've met them and you like them and
the
they
guy
like you,
wears
so
our
it's the
hats.
same
He's a
thing.
supporter of the Berlin. He's a supporter of Bob to Sports. It's not like we text once. And I'm not taking away.
Oh, okay. We text once. I got it.
I'm
See,
just
this
saying,
is where
Mikey,
the
what
true
your
colors
point,
come out.
your
man.
point about Diego Pavia is that I'm
Uh-huh.
not dismissing it. It was a
Yeah.
tremendous feat. It was probably one of the biggest upsets in the last decade. I'm not taking that away. I'm saying it could have been anybody. If they show you love, they automatically get propelled to the top tier in your world. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I disagree.
You
but-
disagree?
Yeah, I do.
Mikey, come on.
I mean, I disagree, bro. I disagree. Do I go out and say that these guys? I don't. Whose tires do I pump like that, professional athlete wise?
I've just never
otherwise?
seen you go from not knowing a guy to all of a sudden pumping his tires. And by the way,
Not knowing
it's
a guy. I've
great-
been watching the guy play for the last 2 seasons. I've been following him. I don't understand. Like,
All right. I just,
I don't know what
listen,
else
I
this
think
kid's
it's a
got to
great
do.
feat. It's a
Yeah.
great feat.
You
I'm
know
not
what we
taking
should
it
do,
away.
Mike? Can we call him to congratulate him?
Sure, I sent him a text already.
Call
So
him.
I mean,
Let's call Diego
Yeah, bring him on the
Pava.
pod.
I don't know if he's going to answer the
Well,
phone.
no.
but-
By the way, if you don't want to call him, don't call him. But if you want to call
Or
him, it'd be
you
pretty
bring him
fucking
on and
cool.
we do a little segment with him.
I thought about doing that already, Joe, for sports.
That could be kind of cool. Oh,
Yeah,
I
tell
would
him-
love that.
Tell him
Would
that
be.
just tell him that Joe hammered Alabama and just see what he said.
I honestly, I thought I did. I got
Oh, he did.
killed.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I did. It's
Yeah.
nothing against the kid. He played tremendous. I just didn't think there was a world where Alabama was going to lose that game. I got caught.
I
up in
mean,
the
lose
Jet-
the
in
game.
Jet
Nobody
syndrome.
thought
In the
they were
Jet
going to lose the
syndrome.
game.
I know.
Nobody thought
And
they
that's
would.
I was absolutely baffled. It was. By the way, did you see them carrying the field goal post down Bourbon Street?
That's what that's. But
What does
that's
the
like
cops say at
Well,
that
it's not-
point?
That's not Bourbon Street.
Yeah, in Nashville.
Isn't Bourbon Street in New Orleans?
Broadway.
He got the buzzer. Mikey's got the
Oh,
Joey
good.
D buzzer.
Every time I'm wrong, you just buzz it. Might be a lot of buzzes in the next.
No,
episode.
it's just only time that you speak the wrong
the wrong ism.
Yeah, the wrong ism. Yeah, by the way, some guy, I don't know who sent me these. So whoever sent me these,
That's
which is
pretty cool.
concerning because it's cool, but at the same time, someone has my address and I don't know who it is, which is concerning. But I do appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by the fine folks over at BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online platform that gets you the therapy that you need, no matter what you're going through. It's easy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/BDS today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BDS, and get the help that you need today. I'll tell you this. This is a promise. If the Yankees make it to the ALCS, we're getting the Audi Club back, and we're coming. Well, I'm coming for a game, Joey D. I would really like you to
Schedule's
come.
going to be tough, Bob,
Wow.
It has to. I'm going
because
to
it's
we're gonna make it
that
happen.
runs into Vegas weekend. The
the ALCS.
Yeah.
World Series
Next
Bob.
weekend. Next
World
weekend.
Series.
World
World
Series or
Series.
bust.
If-
It
by the
really
way,
is the
World
World
Series or
or
bust.
If they make it, we don't even know if they're gonna.
No,
make
we
it.
don't. No, we don't. No, we
No,
don't.
Bob,
no.
Last
I don't
night
think,
was
Bob, your
very good.
heart can handle a World Series. We were watching the game last night. It's game one, and the guys,
We're
I
saying
can't do
last
this.
night. We're
I'm not built
sorry.
for
It
this.
wasn't last
All
night for
right,
people
okay.
listening. It was the
Yeah,
Saturday night
yeah.
game. The Saturday night Yankee game.
The first game one.
Go
Game
ahead,
one.
Joe.
Watching, and he's saying, my heart can't handle this. I can't do this anymore. I'm like, Bob, it's the first game of the playoffs. You're down one run.
I was giving
He's
this
like,
guy
this team's
pitch,
not
I was
built
giving
for
this
this.
guy I was giving this guy pitch counts over the phone, texting him 0-2 to Torres, 2-2 to Torres, 3-2
He was
to
a
Soto.
wreck. I've never seen him like this.
Yeah, I'm really bad with it in just regards to stress levels. And Mikey literally was almost texting me every single pitch of
When we
what
do
was
that,
going-
we've historically, when we've done that, we've had good luck.
we do great.
Historically.
The way
Historically.
you send
That's
the
a lot to
text is
ask of
just
you,
the-
though, Mikey.
Yeah, but
It
I don't
is.
mind if I'm just sitting on the couch and the kids are asleep and it's like bedtime and everyone's down. Like I missed a large portion and I told Bob I got to tuck Gabrielle in.
But
when
he's
I'm locked
watching
in,
the game. Why does he need the pitch count?
he wasn't
He's
at the time. He wasn't at the time.
time,
Oh.
no.
At the time he wasn't.
Yeah. It just, yeah. I told you I'm a fake Jet fan, but when it comes to the Yankees, I'm not a fake Yankee fan.
No,
that's
you're a diehard Yankee fan.
But
like
I think-
Bob is more diehard of a Yankee fan, I think, even than I am to a degree, because he's so centered more on baseball than he is on football. I think in a lot of ways, like he lives and dies with the Yankees. Like I would gladly, because I've seen the Yankees win the World Series so many times, I would give up a
10 years.
good amount of Yankees World Championships to exchange for one Bears Super Bowl.
Oh, without a
One.
question.
I would. I just would. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is what it is.
And Joe, that would be your Canucks, right? You would want the Canucks to win a Stanley Cup before the Packers win another Super Bowl, I take it.
Yeah. The Canucks is to me like Mikey's Bears. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never watched the Canucks win a Stanley Cup ever. I've seen 2 Super Bowls from the Packers. Yeah, the Canucks would be special, man.
Well,
It's like a team you grew up watching when you're a little kid and you root for, and you just think, like, to me, I just think I will never watch.
Here
them
comes
win
a
Stanley
Bob
Cup.
Zinger. I know
in my
exactly what he's
lifetime.
going to say. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he
I
almost
was going to
watched
say
that
you
one
did
in
see
the-
your beloved Florida Panthers win the Stanley
Oh,
Cup
no,
this
no,
year. I
no.
thought he was going to go there. All right,
I was
good,
gonna say,
good.
I was gonna talk about Joey D at the at Vancouver's stadium when they weren't playing at home. Remember, he went to he went to. Didn't you go to the?
Oh, the watch party.
The watch party. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best.
apparently another 20,000 people thought it was a good idea to do the same thing.
I'm
Bob.
not Joe. I listen. I'm not going to attack you on that.
don't get
That's
upset.
a true fan. That's a true fan. Bob loves to pick about that. Like if you love something too much, you're a psychopath. That's
This
Bob's
guy, this
MO.
guy
No.
would turn down tickets to watch his team in the playoffs because he doesn't want to leave the couch. I mean, it's.
Hold on, Mikey.
I mean,
What
it's a different.
what you're-
I got to be
What
honest.
you're
I got to be
referring-
honest.
What you're
I was
referring to is Ohio State with you watching the game. I think that's different. You were talking about the time that I thought that
Joe,
you're-
why are you going a hole? Why are you going a hole? Why am I getting a hole?
no,
Because I know where Bob's going with this.
but are you calling me out for when we watched the Ohio State game together?
No, I just think
Okay.
no, I think in general, like I just think that you like if somebody like is too much, like Bob is very quick to label people that's too much. Bob's a quick labeler.
look at-
That's too much.
Look
He
at what
is.
I'm saying with me with the Yankees. I was the first to tell you I'm a fucking nutcase about it.
Yeah, you
Look,
are. But at least you agree,
nuts.
yeah. Like also you with like food, you're nuts.
Correct. Yes.
You're like
completely.
nuts with that. Like a psycho.
I think if Joe sat here and said maybe I'm a little too much with the Yankees, I would wear that on the chin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I don't think it, but that's the thing. I don't think you're too much. I don't think you're too much.
But that's a different story than going to watch a game at the stadium. Like that's we're talking about your mannerisms. I'm not
So,
talking about
I
like
was asked if I wanted to go to ALDS game 2 on Monday at the stadium. And I said politely, listen, no, flat out no, because going on a Monday night with Dom in school and Gab in school and work, waking up 5:30 the next morning, I can't even enjoy it. Like, at least I know if I'm home, I could lock in and like, I'm going to have what time am I going to get home? When is this going to happen? When's that going to happen? I got to drive into the city. What time am I going to be able to leave work to drive in? Like, it's too much. It's too much. Like, I can't do a weekday. I had to turn that down. I'd much rather watch it at home. I think there's correct scenarios where you do turn down the live event because in baseball too, it's tough because It's different than football. Football, it's one game. It's not a series and it's done. Like a football playoff game, if you're offering me tickets to that, like a Bears,
Yeah.
home game, wild card round, that's a lot harder to turn down than one game in a 5 or a 7 game series. It just is.
You know what? The people that I don't understand how they do it, like the people who will have a baseball team season tickets, and like some people get season tickets and they'll like give it out to clients and stuff. That I get. There's people there with
That go.
Seattle Mariners season
Yeah.
tickets that
Yeah.
go to every single Seattle Mariners game
Yeah.
and sit in the traffic for like that. I don't understand. If you get
Football,
like
I understand more because
Well, there's
so
only
few
8 games at home. There's only 8 games.
Like my uncle, for example, is a Canucks season ticket holder for like 20 something years, but he gives half the tickets to clients, to family.
That's right.
And then he only goes to a handful of games throughout the year. But the playoffs, when they're in the playoffs, he goes to most of the games.
Bro,
That
season
I
tickets
get.
for baseball, like I'll do you one better. I can't even see and I don't participate. It boggles my mind how people play fantasy baseball because there's so much commitment to fantasy baseball. It's a lineup check every single day.
Every day.
Like I can't even fathom doing that.
I made the mistake of that. I signed up for fantasy baseball one time. Like
This year?
No, not
okay.
long ago though, like 2 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
A quarter way through the year, I
I was
just
gonna
mailed
say
in. I couldn't do it.
I was gonna say there's no
I
way.
just
that's
stopped.
that's insane.
It's a lot, bro.
It was
And I'm
the
not knocking
worst.
the people that do it. Like, if you have the time to do it, God bless you. I just could never see myself being able to set a baseball lineup every single day. It's too much
It was
for
it
a
was
whole
brutal.
season.
I felt like fucking Aaron Boone. It was the worst. I
He pressed the
hated
right
it.
buttons last night.
They
Late
did really good.
game
You know,
one. Game
so
one.
many
Sorry,
people-
game
Bobby Bartman.
so many
Good old-
people are so quick to like get on managers when they lose a game. You got to give managers credit when they really
Press the
do
right
win a
buttons.
game.
Game one.
Yeah,
In terms
yeah.
of the pen, he did. He did.
Yeah. All right, let's go on into our buy or sell portion of the show. What did you see that you liked? What did you see that you did not like? Let's start with Joseph D.
I'm gonna buy a documentary that Bob got me onto, which is just honestly, it's a must watch. I'm 2-3 episodes in, and it's unbelievable. The McMahon documentary, Michael. And by the way, I was talking to Brian to Bears All back home. He's further into it. Some of the stuff he says that I got coming up that I haven't hit yet in the further episodes is unbelievably astonishing. Some of the stuff that I heard is coming up. It is insane. And it just goes to show like just the wrestling world that was the WWF and now WWE for so long. When we used to watch it, Mikey, it's crazy. The background behind it. We talked about in extent. I think it's an unbelievably well done series. And if you haven't watched it, definitely some must watch TV.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was I every time you guys talk about WWF or WWE, I kind of check out just because I wasn't big into it. I didn't realize how much I was gonna love that. It is unfucking believable.
It's crazy.
He looks like a scummy guy.
Oh, beyond.
Oh.
His lips are blue. He looks
He
terrible.
had a very weird upbringing too, I mean, listen, I never excuse actions of conscious adults from childhood trauma, but there's no doubt that this guy had a really fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Again, doesn't excuse behavior as an adult, and I fully believe that. But like, you can't just ignore the fact that like this guy like definitely came from a household that was a fucked up upbringing and household. So that's what makes it even more impressive for people that come out of like, absent parent households and or abusive, backgrounds as a kid, and they actually grow up to be upstanding citizens. More power to those people, because usually it'll turn the negative route. And definitely he's got a ton of skeletons in his closet.
Yeah, I mean, that is, you're right. It doesn't excuse it, but he definitely did have that. But when you told me, Mikey, that he was pissed at Netflix for how it came out, that got me more interested in it to watch it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It's so. By the way,
And
Joe,
I'm only a couple episodes in, so I still got a lot to watch. But
I do too. There's a lot still to come. I'm excited for like to get to the era that we grew up watching, because like the first couple episodes it talks about like how it started, then the
Yeah,
Hogan
see,
era,
I
like the
love that
early
because
time.
that's what started me in wrestling. Like I had that Hulk Hogan Iron Sheik match on a
Yeah.
VHS tape, and that's what
That's
like
crazy.
I watched that as a little kid, 5, 6 years old, and like these guys literally were like that was my superheroes that I grew up with. Like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, like that was kind of Rambo. That's like late 80s, early 90s was like who was always on TV because I had older brothers. That's all they watched. That's all that was on TV. So it was like that was the heroes of my childhood. But now, I mean, you look back and like how fucked up all these guys were.
Oh my God, dude. It's
Hogan
crazy too. They're
included.
talking about
Hogan
they're
included.
7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. Like
You
they
never
didn't
knew
have
that. Like on TV, you thought that they only did it once a week or twice a week, and that it was from the same. Like you just didn't. You didn't. It
crazy,
didn't
man.
register as a kid.
Also, too, I mean, the wear and tear, like, yes, obviously it's
Oh,
scripted, but it
oh,
doesn't mean that these guys don't get hurt.
dude,
I mean,
listen.
it's crazy.
You could say all you want. Wrestling is fake. Yes, it's predetermined. You seen what these guys do? They jump off the top of fucking
It's
cages
crazy,
onto
yeah.
a table. Like you can't, the human body, no matter how you rehearse that, you're taking incredible impact and trauma to your body.
It's crazy.
Just like it's scripted, it's predetermined, but it's not fake in the sense of these guys are really like they could be one thing away from like getting killed. I mean, guys have gotten killed in the wrestling
Guys
ring
did kill
or
Owen Hart.
paralyzed. Yes.
Owen Hart.
Yes, or paralyzed for life. I mean, that's happened too. There's
Yeah.
plenty of wrestlers that got paralyzed in the ring and never could walk again. I mean, it's the reality of it.
It is. It's fucking awesome. Open my eyes to it, for sure. Buy or sell. They're probably going to lose today. We're recording Sunday. Just all the hype in the world. Not to say that they can't turn it around, but it's just classic. Like I look at them right now, and I don't think they're anywhere near one of the top teams in football. I'm selling the Jets, man. I think it's going to get ugly. I know it's my team. I'm always hard on my team, but even just like offensively, they just don't look that good. I'm not saying that they're bad. Like they're probably above average, but if you think for a second that this team's going to be winning the Super Bowl or whatnot, I just don't see any chance of it happening. The Bills are so much better than them. I think the
good
Ravens.
news, though, Bob, is there's not a lot of really good teams in the NFL right
No,
now.
there's
Yeah.
not.
So, like,
No,
I
there's
get
not.
what you're saying, but there's not like a lot of teams that you look at and you're like, oh my God, that team's unbelievable. Now the Chiefs are undefeated. The Vikings undefeated right as at
The
this moment while we're
the
filming.
most impressive team to me so far is the Vikings, the team that the Jets are playing right now. I really defense wise and offense, I just think they've been the most impressive top to bottom for me. Not to say that the Chiefs being undefeated isn't impressive, but the Chiefs have come very close to losing a couple games. The
couple
Vikings
times.
feels like are winning very comfortably.
I
The
can see
Vikings
the
could be
Vikings.
The Chiefs could be 2-2 right now, if
Yes,
we're being honest.
easily, Joe. That's right.
Easily. I mean, one toe away in week 1, and then the pass interference
against the
call against
Bengals.
the
Yep.
Bengals. If that
Yep.
doesn't get called, that's a so yeah. I don't think I agree with what you're saying, Bob, but I think it's a long season. And I think that, they're going to be good enough to make the playoffs. And if you look historically at some of these teams that have won Super Bowls, like look at the Giants, are prime example. They did it 2 different times. They barely made the playoffs. They got hot at the right time. They had a good defense and they rolled and they won 2 Super Bowls with, so I'm not saying that the Jets are going to do it, but it's not like the season's over. I think you're going to still have a chance.
I'm not saying it's over. I do think they can make the playoffs too. I just think that from what they were hyped up to be, like they were supposed to be this powerhouse. I just think they look, granted, yes, there's a lot of time, but it's tough to watch, man.
Rodgers, obviously, we're recording on Sunday morning, and Rodgers has thrown 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick 6 already. The conversation's going to turn into in New York. The narrative's going to be they're going to start to turn on Rodgers a little bit, and they're going to say, you should have been here for the mini camps and the voluntary workouts, and you skipped all of it, and now you're blaming that there's no chemistry on the offense and this that. If there's one thing I've learned about Aaron Rodgers over the years, and nobody has been taken to the woodshed more than I have by Aaron Rodgers. It's not time to panic as a Jets fan yet. It's not. He could very easily over the next several weeks develop that chemistry. They have talent there. The defense is good there. I really think that the Jets' biggest issue is the coaching. I don't like Bobby
Saleh
Saleh at
looks, he
all.
looks checked out half the time on the
I don't
sideline.
like him, and I hate Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, I know Rodgers likes him from his days, but I just don't like Hackett and Saleh. I just don't. I think Saleh's a good defensive guy. He was in San Francisco, but I think the coaching's a problem. I don't think Rodgers respects him, and that's a big issue. I think that's a big issue. But
Would you consider
I wouldn't
Rodgers a
panic.
friend of
I
the
would not
program,
panic.
Michael?
Yes, yes, I would.
Friend of the program?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I think that's fair to say.
I do too.
Wow.
I do too. Okay,
Tremendous.
Mikey, take it away.
I'm going to sell, and this is not a shot at you and Joe. It's not, but I'm selling Florida weather, man. I have that Florida weather, dude. Like, I
It's
get
hot
like,
as shit, man.
I get the snowbird thing, like if you're up north and you don't want to deal with winter months, but honestly, how bad is the winter up north anymore? Like in Jersey and New York, I don't even remember. We had maybe one snowstorm last winter. Over the last couple of years, I could count on my hand how many times I've had to shovel and be stuck in snow. I could count it on one hand over the last 3-4 years. Florida was absolutely fucking miserable, the weather.
And Mikey, it's
90
cooling
degrees.
down right now.
Yeah,
It's
cooling
not
down.
even
Yeah.
it's not even as bad as it was in mid-July or August.
Listen, it's one thing to have to deal with intense heat and humidity, but then you're going to tell me that it's going to torrentially downpour for like 2 hours and it's not going to do anything
Well,
to
then
cool anything off.
it gets more humid after that
It's
after that
insane.
rain's done.
We got caught in 2 torrential downpours back-to-back days in Disney World, and it was, I mean, the kids looked like drowned rats. I'm walking around completely soaked. Our strollers completely soaked. Like, it was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. The Florida weather, I have no other word for it, Bob. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's really a problem.
It's so bad.
The good thing is from, I think,
bad.
November to like April,
I'm sure
you're gonna be golden. But like
Yeah.
that, when I moved in January, I was like, oh, this is nice. February was
Right.
good. March
Right.
was great. April, then May hit, and I was like, oh, sweet heavens.
I feel like half the year
that's
it's almost intolerable.
That's
It's
why
almost-
everybody gets out of it. If you look at even where we are during the off season, there's really not many of that people there, but you can go into any restaurants, and then when it comes in season, it's impossible to get in. It really is such a snowbird place, especially where we are, more than anything.
Listen, if you can live that life and you could bounce back and forth, I don't mind that play, because then you're playing, the best hand you're dealt on both sides. You're having the best months up north and the best months weather down there. But
that's the way to do it.
Year round, I'm going to say this: year round, I would rather deal with the winters we've been having up north than having to deal with the 5 to 6 months of brutality in that humidity.
I don't
That's just
necessarily
what I'm
disagree with you, Michael. We had the discussion last night with Jerry and Big Cat, because we're in Chicago right now, and Jerry was like, there's like 2 to 3 weeks of just insufferable cold, but
Yes.
aside from that, it's not horrific. Whereas like with these lingering months and with global warming, whether you want to accept it or not, it's getting fucking hotter, and the humidity is just, it'll hit you in the face like a bag of bricks.
We're supposed to have another hurricane coming to Florida, by the way.
Another one?
That's what they're saying.
Unbelievable.
That's what they're saying.
When is that supposed? This week?
I don't know.
That's what the pop was telling us.
All right, let's go on into top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Top 5. This week's top 5 is going to be top 5 busts. Any athlete, any sport, all the hype in the world ended up being a total flop. Who is that going to be? Joey D took home the animal one last week. I came in second, Mikey in third. So it's going to be top 5 all-time busts. Joey D, what spot would you like?
I think I'm gonna take third.
Oh, Bobby
Yeah.
going 1.
I don't think I am, to be honest. I don't think there's a clear cut.
Are
you going 2 then, Bob?
He's got to go either one.
No, I'll go.
I don't think we've ever had someone take 2 over 1.
I know. I just don't know if there's a clear cut, but I'll go 1.
Could be interesting.
I'll go 1.
All right.
So that leaves Mikey V 2. Let's get down to business. I will go Jamarcus Russell, number 1.
Yeah, I honestly think that is the clear-cut one, in my opinion. Not to say that it'll, carry the whole list, but I do think
Right.
that's the number one. I'm going to go Ryan Leaf at 2. I think Ryan Leaf, when you say bust, he's synonymous with, if not being Jamarcus Russell, I think he is the clear-cut 2.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so I got 2 then. I'm going to go with Greg Oden. And for my next one, give me Trent Richardson for my next one.
Bama back. Yeah, I'm going to take, it's really a toss-up between these two guys, in my opinion, but I'm going to go with the latter. I'm going to say Darko Milicic. Darko Milicic, him being selected over Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Bosch, he is an all-time in the LeBron draft. He is an all-time epic bust. Him going above those guys.
That's a good one, Mikey. I had him on my list for sure.
I think it's the right pick. All right. Give me Kwame Brown.
I had him on the list too, yeah.
And then go with Vince Young. Over to Mikey we go.
I'm going to take Charles Rogers, who was 2nd overall for the Lions. He played only 3 seasons. He was supposed to be the best wide receiver, one of the top wide receiver prospects, Michigan State. Only played 3 seasons, 440 yards. Epic, biggest bust in Lions history, Charles Rogers. They only stayed in the league for 3 seasons, and he was gone.
Over to Joey D.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Tim Tebow. And now I know he won a playoff series, but when you're considered the best college football player of all time, and then you literally can't throw a ball in the NFL, to me, that's a bust. And on the way back, I'm going to go Adam Morrison. Remember him, Bob?
Of course, Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. I'm going to take a Packer here. And I hate to do it to Joey D. He probably knows, but Tony Mandarich, 2nd overall pick, was supposed to be the greatest offensive line prospect in the history of the game.
That's such a Packer thing to do, to take an offensive lineman with that high.
and I mean, he just was a complete and utter bust.
Okay, give me Anthony Bennett.
He stunk, man.
Yeah, he was so bad. Got picked by the Cavs. And was just terrible. Give me Anthony Bennett, and then give me Mikey. Give me Mikey's boy. Give me Brian Bosworth. Give me the boss. Give me
He definitely was a bust in the pros.
Favorite jersey of all time.
Great jersey though.
Yeah. So that when you
the
came
boss.
on, when you came on that Brian Bosworth jersey, that was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Made all the sense in the world.
Now, last pick. I'm going to go something a little different, and maybe this will be a head scratcher, but I'm taking the perspective of a bust in terms of what he was just given and paid. I have to take Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson I'm taking Deshaun Watson as a bust. 5 years, 230 million, fully guaranteed. I mean, that is he turned into a bust. I understand, made the playoffs 2 times. He's 1-2 in the playoffs, but he turned out to be an iconic bust, a bust that may very well sink the Cleveland Browns organization for the next 10 years because of what they committed to him financially. So I'm going to take Deshaun Watson.
Joey D, close us down.
Give me Mitchie boy. Mitch Trubisky.
It definitely was a bust.
I mean, to consider you took him over Mahomes. I mean, that is
the Mahomes narrative, though. There's 9 teams that passed on Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, there's 9 teams that nobody knew that Mahomes was going to be
donning that orange of the Bears right now, Michael.
He could be donning the colors of 9 other teams, though. I hate the Mahomes argument because nobody knew Mahomes was going to be Mahomes. Nobody knew that.
It sounds like Jet losing bets already, by the way.
What is going on down there? Aaron Rodgers is hurt again.
No.
Oh, he's walking off the field.
Are you
He's walking.
serious,
He's-
man?
I know
He's
Sauce.
walking.
I know
He's
Sauce
fine.
got
He's
hurt.
fine.
Sauce
fine.
got hurt too.
Yeah, head injury.
Oh my God,
It's
man.
unbelievable.
Just
That
never easy.
okay, Mikey. If you could go ahead and read off the picks. There's the sell of the Jets. Let it begin.
Bob, Jamarcus Russell, Kwame Brown, Vince Young, Anthony Bennett, the Boz. See, I think Vince Young and Deshaun kind of similar there, Bob, because Vince came out, he was decent at the beginning, and then he just plummeted. I got Ryan Leaf, Darko Milicic, Charles Rogers, Tony Mandarich, and Deshaun Watson. Joe's got Greg Oden, Trent Richardson, Tim Tebow, Adam Morrison, Mitch Trubisky. I think it's pretty even, honestly.
Pretty good. Yeah.
We'll
Pretty
see
good.
what happens. These are very objective, obviously. These kind of things. But
Subjective.
click the button, Mikey. I
Ladies,
can't hear it.
I hear it over my headphone. Well, maybe I don't know. It doesn't
Late-
make any. There it is. There it
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does it. Another edition, the Brilliantly Dumb Show. We will see you next time. Take care, folks.